and as part of the construction phase. What do you do as an architect when you go to the site or visit a site? There are basic activities you do when you are involved in the site supervision. Thing is the material and equipment submittals. The actor will send you drawings. We call them shop drawings. And it is very important that you understand the difference between different types of drawings. We have design drawings, we have working drawings, we have shop drawings. Design drawings and working drawings are made by the architect. Shop drawings are made by the contractor and reviewed by the architect. We will talk more about that later. Also, there is another type of drawing called as-is drawings. These are drawings that are provided by a contractor after the completion of the project of the actual constructed design. During construction, there are some modifications, changes approved by the owner or the architect. So after the building is built, the drawings might be different than the working drawings. So the contractor, if it's part of the contract, they provide you with as-built drawings. Or it can be another job assigned to an architect or a firm. During the construction, the contractor will provide you with the product samples to approve and check their quality and the specifications. They will also provide you with samples to sign on the sample itself, and so on. Site visits. When you go to the site, you have to look at specific elements. Is the project going according to the contract requirements and the contract documents and the construction documents, drawings, specifications, quantities, and so forth. You also need to prepare several or attend several meetings and write reports about every visit you go and everything you notice in the site. So there is what we call a pre-bid meeting, and before the contractors submit their bids, and there is a pre-construction meeting. So you meet with the client and the contractor to prepare the construction stage and hand over the site to the contractor. And there are several visits during the construction. And as we say, safety is first. You have to make all precautions so that you and the workers and everyone in the site are safe. So we'll talk about these responsibilities. And then you have also to make sure that the work is going according to the documents and contract, how to reject work if it's not following the contract documents, and whether you are allowed to stop the work or not. Testing and inspection is indicated in the contract documents. What type of testing is required of concrete cubes, of glass, of different materials. So you have to make sure that you are following that. So as we said, there is a stage of material and equipment submittals. And the most important thing is the shop drawings, and you have to understand exactly what is the what are the shop drawings, and what is your role as an architect in approving the shop drawings. Also, product data and samples. And these are submitted by the contractor to the architect during construction, and show the details, the intentions, and the specifications of the work to be implemented. And they have to be, the architect should make sure that it is following the construction documents and the working drawings that he or she submitted in the beginning. So they are more detailed than the working drawings. For the contractor, he cannot just use your working drawings for construction. They have to develop these shop drawing details. So they provide more information coming from subcontractors, manufacturers, suppliers, or distributor or illustrator to detail part of the work. So they are much detailed than the working drawings. Products, any product used in the site must be approved. You specified مثلا vinyl or carpet or tiles, or ceramic tiles in your drawings. Type. There are hundreds of materials that can be used. You have to make sure that the material, its strength, its color, its size are what you want. And the contractor will provide you samples, so you select and approve one and sign. So all these details of hotel rooms, they require a lot of details. Bathrooms, kitchen, the installation of ceramic tiles on the walls and the floors, how they connect together, details of fixed furniture. So many details are provided by the contractor. So these are all provided by the contractor to the architect to approve. Samples of materials. These are some examples of the difference between design drawing and shop drawing. In the design drawing, you as an architect provide basic information about the location of the lighting fixtures, the switches, telephone lines, and so on. But in the shop drawing, it's much more detailed. Everything in the design must be shown. So this is an example of a detail of a cabinet. It's the dimensions, location, equipment, and so forth. So you have to expect to receive these kinds of drawings and from the contractor, and they all come with officially with cover letter, with date, so that you have to approve it within a reasonable time limit. Your approval also is in writing. So you receive a letter with the drawings from the contractor, and then you return it with a cover letter with the approved documents. So there are hundreds of documents and letters going back and forth. That's why we say communication and management is very critical at this stage. So the drawings is sent back to the contractor, approved any samples, any data, and make sure that they follow the contract documents. This is your main role, is to follow the contract documents, the working drawings, the specifications, the quantities, the colors, the strength of the material, the size, and so forth. So you receive the procedure is to receive the data from the contractor. So you have to have good records. So any letter you send or receive, any drawing you send or receive, you have to keep a copy. Record keeping is very essential. Most projects, they end in court. People at the end will have some problems. It can be very big problems, can be very small disputes. But any project ends with this. So you have to make sure that you have all your supporting documents of everything you do in the project. So record keeping is extremely important to save yourself from any penalties at the end. So you have to keep a record of the dates received and returned, as it approved, corrected, revised, and keep copies of all submittals. You also have to return the documents, the shop drawings, as we said, within a reasonable period of time. This is agreed upon as 10 days, 2 weeks maximum, because the contractor cannot start unless you approve. So this time is delaying the start of the work. Any change or revision should be done through a change order, not verbally. Everything must be in writing, because this is money. So any change order must be done approved by the owner and submitted to the contractor through the owner, because this will be translated to extra money paid by the owner. So you have to have standard formats for the letters, for the correspondence, for the record keeping, and so forth. So as you said, record keeping is extremely important. Keep records of everything. Keep the owner involved. Sometimes the owner, they have their own representatives in the site if it's a big site. So this is an entity that you have to keep involved all the time in your actions. The project is not yours. The project is owned by the owner. You are a representative of the owner only. As you said, 10 to 15 days is reasonable time. Less than that is appreciated, so that there is no delay. Shop drawings are not change orders. They are details of what the designer did in the beginning. But if there is a big change from the original drawings, then there is a change order that must be issued. Because change order will be used to collect more money from the contract. Standardization of formats is critical, so that you don't lose track of the work. Yes.
When you're saying if there are major changes, I have to go back to the contract documents before and re-edit them.
Yes. Yes, you have to. You have to issue a change order that has a modification of the contract, and modification of the quantities and the drawings of the part that is changed. يعني imagine, let's give an example. Imagine مثلا that you had a large hall, a large studio, and during construction, the owner decided that he wants to transform the studio to 3 classrooms. So you will need to add walls and change the distribution of the HVAC and lighting uh, and furniture. So all this is money. Who's going to pay it?
Mm.
The owner was willing to pay it, but it has to be done through change order. So Studio 1 will be transformed into Classroom 1, 2, and 3. You
It's
need
called
to
or what's it called?
change order.
Change order.
Change order. Some people call it contract modification. Some people call it variation order. And be prepared to hear different terms. Yeah. But at the end, it is a change of the original contract and drawings to something different. For you to have all this in writing. So all this is done as a paperwork and documents and so forth. Another thing is the site visit. When you go to the site by yourself and look at the implementation of the work and the workers constructing the project. So what is your role as an architect? You are an advisor to the owner. You advise the owner whether the contractor is performing the work in accordance with the contract documents or not. So all your site visits are targeting this. So you always have to make sure that the dimensions, materials, colors, quality, quantity are according to the contract documents. So this is your main role as the architect representing the owner in this site. How do we do that? We have to have meetings. So there is what we call a pre-bid meeting before the contractor is selected. So after you distribute the construction documents to the contractors, you give them some time to study, and then you make a pre-bid meeting. Before they submit their bids, you meet with them if they have any questions to be answered publicly. And then there is a pre-construction meeting where you meet with them again before they start the actual construction with the selected contractor to arrange for everything. The location of the site office, the procedure of work, where the materials will be stored, the workers' accommodation, everything. And then there are several meetings, regular meetings during the construction, weekly or every couple of days, depending on how you agree with the contractor. So your basic role is to make sure that the construction is going according to the construction documents, as we said. So we inspect everything that is being implemented and how it is fixed. It's a daily work and teamwork with the contractor and the owner all the time. So make sure that the contractor is doing the work according to your design. طبعا there will be several meetings. We have to know how to take meeting notes, meeting minutes of, and write minutes of meetings, and document everything. Every meeting, every change, every drawing. طبعا now we can document easily with pictures and cameras, and this is also useful. As we said, we have pre-bid meeting before the contractor is selected to answer any questions related to the project documents. After the contractor is selected, we have pre-construction meeting with the contractor to discuss the site conditions, the site arrangements, distribution of different activities in the site, how will the shop drawings be submitted, and what is expected, what are the forms to use, and so forth. During construction, also, we have several meetings to discuss the progress of work. Is it following the schedule or not? How to expedite the work, how to improve, how to change, and so on. So this is the life of the architect most of the time in the construction. They meet all the time. And as you say, in the site, safety is first. Have to be concerned about your safety and the workers' safety, and then the passers-by safety, the people around the site. So signs must be there, proper hats, boots, vests, everything must be there. Protection of the site if there is excavation, so that people don't fall and get injured. So always check about the safety as you start your site visit. At the end, it's a contractor failure, but it will give bad image to the project. So you have to make sure that you report any safety issues to the owner immediately, and make sure that the contractor is not jeopardizing the safety of the workers. So you have to inform the owner if you observe an unsafe condition immediately. And don't ignore anything that you find inappropriate in the site. As I said, it is the contractor's responsibility, but it will hurt the image and name of the product and the art. So evaluation of work is another thing. You have to always evaluate the contractor's performance, and you have to be objective when dealing with the work and the contractor. And don't get too much involved with the contractor and his team. You have to keep your image and dignity and some distance, so that you are always impartial. You are the one who knows the project. You know the drawings, you know the specifications, you know what needs to be done. So you have to follow the contract documents all the time. So you will maybe notice something that is not appropriate, not going according to the contract. So reject the work and inform the owner immediately that this wall, this finishing, this tile is not done according to the requirement. The architect does not have the right to stop the work. And you don't go to the site, I don't like this, stop the work. You cannot do that. Stopping the work is the owner's right, not the architect. If you find something that is not correct, not safe, not appropriate, you inform the owner, and the owner is the one who can stop the work, not the architect. So don't confuse your role as a representative of the owner with the role of the owner. So following the specifications and the drawings and the dimensions with the good quality that is following the building codes of the and laws. This is what your role is in the site. Testing, you can take samples and send them to testing laboratories or assign laboratories to make tests of soil, concrete, welding, and so forth. So some testing will be done on-site and some testing will be done off-site. مثلا concrete samples, materials, soil testing, they have to be taken from the site. But maybe samples of tiles, samples of carpet, samples of paint, they can be done in other laboratories. طبعا soil testing is done before and during construction, so you have to have good soil reports before the construction so that you can design your foundations, and also during the construction if there are any changes in the water level table and so forth. So make sure that all these testings and inspections are going according to schedule and done properly during your site visits. This is a sample of a site that is starting with the site conditions, and then they start to locate the center lines that you have in your drawings, and then they start to create construct the foundation and put the electricity and connections, and then for the being in the site is a different feeling. It takes a long time. Sometimes things happen, and sometimes if it's a concrete pouring or something, it happens quickly within hours. So scheduling is important. I think you have good information about the different types of scheduling. We have scheduling for design stage and scheduling for construction, and these help us to manage the time and work. So during the design stage, we have to have schedules for the different design phases, how many people will be required for each phase, how much money will be paid, and so on. So we have the stages of schematic design, design development, construction documents, bidding, construction administration. We have to provide the owner with a schedule that covers these periods of time so that they know or they can follow the progress of our work. So each stage has its detailed sub-stages, and you can provide a time schedule like this to the owner that illustrates the time schedule. Someone you can use any simple programs like Excel, or there is Microsoft Project or Primavera to provide schedules. Make sure that you have some time for contingencies, about 10% of the time. If there are problems, if there are conditions beyond your control that you need more time and so forth. Also, look at how the impact of the schedule on the contractor and the suppliers of material. Construction scheduling is more complicated. It's usually done by the contractor, but the architect can also provide a scope, a quick overview of the construction and schedule to the owner, so they understand when do they need cash flow and get money from the banks and so forth. But the contingencies are important. These are also provided by a bar chart. So you have this is like 1 year of construction, starting with excavation, concrete, carpentry, masonry, and you see some work overlaps with others so that you save time. So this is an example. I mean, this can be 2 or 3 years, depending on the size of the project. An important element also of the scheduling today is what you call the critical path method, the CPM. The CPM actually is more advanced, and it's usually done by Primavera program. And it does not only provide a bar chart of activities. No, it looks at how the activities are dependent on each other. So sometimes you cannot start an activity unless you finish another activity before. So this is a typical bar CPM method that shows the activities and how they depend on each other. Yes.
Ma'am, so I want to let you know that the meeting is ending in less than a minute.
Yes, yes, I know. I'm watching the timer. Okay, so this is the end of this part. Inshallah, we'll continue when it's finished. So these are some of the topics that you can select. Inshallah, as we said in the beginning. The meeting will end now, and we will